Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast with me, Mthis. I actually got a fair few replays for the latest patch, however, a hotfix dropped, so I was unable to get to record many of them. Anyway, this is one on the hotfix, so hopefully this one will work correctly. Let's go through the players. It's a 1v1 on the Western Front. We have Union as rifle company straight out the gate for the United States of America, getting the blue and grey onto the fields. Cheap alternative assault infantry you can get if you're playing as rifle. And Robertus going straight off for Panzerjäger tactics for the Mthis. And going for 17 SS Grenadiers instead of the Storm Grenadiers. A unique unit to be able to if you're playing as Panzerjäger, allows you to have some cheaper units on the field. Arrive with Panzerfaust and can be equipped with Sturmgewehrs if they get to Veteran 2. Really potent unit actually, and fairly decent as like a basic infantry unit. They can get the job done if used correctly. They're not as good as Storm Grenadiers, but they are less costly after all. Based on the 6 shots there. This is still part of the officer rework patch, so we should see if they'll use the officers differently, because that's the new thing people have to figure out still. I'm pretty sure. Let me just check if I am recording. Looks like I am. Good to see. Excuse me. My recording software got in the way there. There we go. Americans also got some riflemen up. Basic American infantry can be equipped with the 30 cal if you're playing as rifle. Pretty potent large machine gun. Well, LMG, light machine gun. We also have a Kugelwagen 34 coming out here. Basic mobile suppression platform for the Mthis. And the Wehrmacht, I believe. Recon team coming out for the United States. Not any more infantry coming out for the Germans at the moment. Just have the 17th moving a little bit around trying to secure the perimeter. Awaiting the Yankees to show themselves again. Meanwhile, the Americans are securing the position up here with the blue and grey in the first. Kugelwagen sitting up here for suppression. A good overwatch position here. And the Americans have still not captured this cutoff point, so they're not actually getting this munitions at all. More American troops are coming onto the field, so the Americans are so far overrunning, or will outnumbering the Germans, which is not big a surprise. MT-34 coming out. Heavy machine gun variant, so this one should be set up in a defensive location. Probably planned for this area, who the hell knows? That's like a good little sandbag position right there. And cover 2 flanks. Or 2 sides, rather. Kugelwagen moving up here to probably support the 17th SS. Yep, and the blue and grey are opening fire. They are very poor quality though, so they will not be very accurate at range. But they are using semi-auto rifles. Now actual riflemen are jumping into this building, and they're a little bit more accurate. That's that Americans are best used at medium to close range. But over long range, the Germans do tend to fare a little bit better. They're going out, but here comes the blue and grey around the corner. Throwing a pineapple first. And now the M1 Garand should start to show themselves and their power here. Yep. Even as a poor quality infantry, they're actually pretty good with M1 Garands. Meanwhile, American 30 cal coming up here on the other flank. 17 SSR trying to hold them back. Throwing a splendid grenade. Good grenade at that, actually. Almost killing them. German 30, MT-34 set up here. Manned by Storm Grenadiers. American 30 cal is being killed, and the squad defending it might not last long. E-17 has actually done a pretty decent job. Good to see. So the Germans are actually doing pretty decently. Then the 17th SS are still being recuperated back here. German pioneers are securing the point there, and the Germans are going for the cutoff, which the Americans never captured to begin with. Americans are getting another 30 cal. The Germans could snatch that 30 cal, but I'm not sure they want to at this close to the American base. They also already have the MT-34 up, so... But a second machine gun is never a bad thing. They just don't want to sacrifice any units for it at the moment, I think. And there we go. Another 30 cal here for the United States of America. Germans are trying to dig in. So far it's looking pretty decent along the front line. Here comes the first take-up truck for the Mthis. Die Svea Wehrmacht-Schlepper. A giant half-track. Really giant half-track, by the way. Like, that is a huge vehicle. Doom Pioneers jumping over the sandbags, but will that be enough to stop them from the vertical here? The vertical is out of range for now, so that's good. But Germans have secured a wide part of the front line. You can also see we are playing on the newest patch where the black turrets are now replaced by pillboxes, which means that the SS don't get free AA anymore, which I think is a very good change. Where's this truck gonna set up is the question. Let's see, right, a smoke grenade going out, that's a good choice I think. But will they be able to get back in time? They don't have any support. Wagner's gonna give chase. Oh, and they mowed down the first infantry. That's bad. That Wagner can be quite potent. You have a jeep coming out of the United States with a 30 cal on top. Need to be cautious though. These grenadiers do have Panzerfausts. Even have AT grenades. They have a lot of anti-tank options, which does make sense. They are Panzerjäger oriented. Keep an eye out here. Another first infantry command to the field. And we have some Sturm Grenadiers coming up behind us. Okay. And an SS Panzerjäger. I would personally probably just have waited until I would have gotten this one up if it was me and getting the Panzer Grenadiers instead. Like, there's probably no need for getting the Sturm Grenadiers at this point. That said, the Sturm Grenadiers do get Sturmgewehrs if you're playing as Panzerjäger, which is a fairly potent upgrade for them, by the way. Oh, he cancelled them. Okay. I guess he's gonna go for the Panzer Grenadiers instead. That would be the better choice, I think, economically at this point, because Panzer Grenadiers and Sturm Grenadiers cost the same. Ooh, blue and grey getting up close here. They're throwing a grenade. Oh, almost killing the Sturm Pioneers. Blue and grey did suffer for it. And the Sturm Pioneers down. SS Panzerjäger on the field arriving with a Panzerbüchse, which I think is not intentional. They should probably arrive with a Panzerschreck because this Panzerschreck icon is weapon inventory full, so that doesn't make any sense. I think there might be a glitch or something, but not intentional. We'll find out. We also have an Untersturmführer here for the Waffen-SS, the lowest level officer available to the Waffen-SS troops. Combat officer. Kugelwagen and MG34 suppressing these guys. Vertical Jeep chasing the Kugelwagen. I think the Vertical Jeep might have the advantage there. No shots hit though, but he's penetrated. Now we could see Panzer Grenadiers coming onto the field here if they want, which is a pretty potent squad. The 17 Panzer Grenadiers is a pretty damn good squad, and yes, we're seeing them. Oh wait, no, he cancelled them for a Pack 40, okay. So wants that kind of AT on the field instead first. American truck on the field, allowing us a mobile punishment platform. American still needs to take that cutoff point. Looks like the 30 cal is going to move up here with some infantry support. Going up behind the next train cart. Giving them a good arc of fire. 17 TS is still hold up here. You also have the Untersturmführer just back here with his bodyguard. Panzerbüchse armed Panzerjägers coming up this flank. They're probably aiming to take out the American Jeep. And it looks like the Kugelwagen is going to serve as bait. Or distraction. They do know that it's there, I think. Yeah, they can see through the fog of war because they can hear the engine. But now the Jeep knows. That's gonna give it enough time to get away, and the Kugelwagen got decrewed. Few good shots there from the Americans. Vertical opening fire again. But I think the Germans might be able to hold this position thanks to their sandbags. American half-track coming onto the field. Now we're finally seeing the Panzer Grenadiers, the 17th SS. Pretty potent Panzer Grenadiers, probably some of my favorites. Proudmower on the field. And also the American Sniper. Unique unit able to, if you're playing as a rifle, I think. Normally Americans don't get a sniper. We have some room to flank. Not the best position to be in. Pack 40 is still present. American rifle is taking heavy shots. Realism tried to flank here, but the Germans are able to hold them off, I think. Almost lost the squad there. And this squad is just killing everyone. They have also been out with Sturmgewehrs. Not looking good for the United States here. Here's the 17th SS, unique squad available to you if you're playing as Panzerjäger. Can be equipped with the LMG 42 with 100 rounds, which we are seeing, so that's going to be a very potent squad. I really enjoy the 17th SS Panzerjägers. I think they are a very underutilized unit. They can do a lot of stuff. They're a very versatile squad. We also have the second Schwerschlepper on the field. So we have some artillery calling here from the Untersturmführer. They're radioing in some artillery. Looks like they aimed around there. Probably aiming to take out the building. Some decent shots, but the building did not catch fire. As with the officer workers, you notice they actually have to stand still to use their artillery barrages. I want to see what people will do with these changes.
We have a lieutenant reporting in for
American lieutenant arriving onto the field, basic American low-tier officer. It's a very good combat commander actually if you're playing as rifle, so should be pretty good to have it on front. He serves as basically just another rifleman squad. Vertical moving up here, probably behind these little bricks. Oh, sitting up behind the wood here and the bushes. Then looks like all the slappers are coming out now, so the Waffen-SS is going to take up fully, I think.
Hold. Regimental HQ for mechanized units will be here.
17SS is pushing up here with their Sturmgewehrs. So the Americans are finally securing this cutoff point, giving them the munitions they need. Meanwhile, the Panzergrenadiers are holding this position. Rapid artillery called in there. But there's no SS there anymore. Panzerbüchse armed Panzerjägers coming up. Immobilizing the American Jeep. Vertical in. Oh well, MT-34 I mean. Opening fire in the vertical. Panzerjägers are taking heavy hits though, so they have to get out of there. More artillery called in.
Command half-track has been permanently established as a static post.
So far, an intriguing fight. We have a 57mm AT gun coming out for the Americans.
Ready, boys.
Truck is still back here.
A capture point is under attack.
Germans are now rapidly securing this fuel point.
Ready.
Getting shots on the truck. MT-34 still located in there.
Send orders.
Shots are hitting the truck here, so the truck has to pull back, I think.
Ready. Captain just took the battlefield.
Open Blitzer coming onto the field here. And also we have some weapons airdropping in for the United States. We have a 57 and a mortar. Unique call in if you're playing as rifle companies. Can give you some weapons if you need it. Artillery being called in by the lieutenant here. Not sure what he's aiming for with it. Around there, probably he's aiming to clear the cover. Oh, it's white phosphorus, okay. Well, perhaps they don't realize that commanders has changed yet. Oh, one white phosphorus hit there, actually. I would probably get that lieutenant into cover, though. More blue and grey come into the field to get more bodies on the field for the United States. The blue and grey do provide a very cheap way of getting a lot of get a lot of riflemen. That's the thing. 17 SS is still doing a lot of damage with their Sturmgewehrs. More 17 SS coming up here. Using their Sturmgewehrs with impunity. 17 SS Panzerjäger, unique Panzerjäger available to the 17 SS. Arrives with 2 Panzerschrecks instead of 1, and they are a 4-man squad. Pretty handy. We also have the Hauptsturmführer here, the second-tier officer available to the Waffen-SS. Arriving with his own retinue as well. So we do a full SS tier up here. Double Blitz, not sure what everyone's doing at the moment. Panzer is heading southwards. That's not looking good for the Americans, but they do have a munitions point finally. Vertical has been crewed. Well, not vertical, 57. Vertical moving up here, but the Panzer are waiting. And they do have an LMG-42 with 100 rounds, which should make short work of that vertical out in the open. Panzer are really damn good at using their weapons. We can see so far they are winning that engagement handily. Yep, they already pinned the machine gun. Oh, but he's being flanked. About the Latinum going out, I think. Oh, that's just a Blenkorber. Yeah, so the Panzer have to get out of there because he's blue and grey. Oh, the Blenkorber is killing the blue and grey. Choking him with toxic smoke. F8 Stuk coming out. Basic and cheaper Stuk available if you're playing as Panzerjäger. Has the ability to be armed entirely with high explosive shells to deal with infantry. Pretty handy for dealing with the American infantry then. A2 Sherman coming off the Americans, workhorse tank of the United States. Pretty potent medium tank, can deal with most things if used correctly. Very good for infantry support.
Stand ready.
Give him some reinforcing back at the base here.
Lock bolts, prepare to move. Stuk tank ready for
Yes, a Stuk F8. Pretty basic Stuk, but it'll get the job done. And the high explosive ability with it is really damn handy. HS Sherman is almost on the field, which would probably be a problem for the Stuk if it switched to high explosives.
Crew, get ready.
But the Stuk is going to move up here. 17 SS is already secured. It's waiting for it. Aufklar coming out.
Ready for further orders.
It switched to high explosives. Which might be a problem, but the Sherman is going the other way. Yeah, one good shot there. Now the Panzer are getting a very good buff of fighting alongside the Stuk here. They're getting this mechanized assault benefit. Which is why Panzer are really good to have alongside vehicles. I don't know what they're meant to do. Meanwhile the Americans are making a push up there. That AT gun's not gonna last. Oh, they immobilized the Stuk though. American sniper did go down. And looks like the Americans are pushing up here now. Because the Stuk is essentially immobilized, the German has nothing to fear of it. They can just move up here and support this side safely. Because the blue and grey did actually succeed. They destroyed the MG-34. They need repairs for this Stuk. Maybe artillery call in there. And F8 is still able to shoot from that angle. Second A2 coming on. AT gun being hit very hard. Oh, his main gun is gone. That's a big loss. Lieutenant down though. Americans taking heavy losses, but the Germans need to find a way to repair that Stuk. Second Stuk F8 on the field though. Where is it? Oh, that's a command Stuk. Oh, well, technically this is an observation Stuk. Oh, looks like we have the Sherman moving on to the other flank. Have to deal with the immobilized Stuk down there. Ah, he's gonna use the Opel Blitz to repair the engine. That will allow the Stuk to back off safely. And I'm not sure what this Sherman is doing. But you don't show your ass to Panzerjägers. Sticky bomb on the observation Stuk. Didn't do much. We have a Beute Panzer Sherman on the field here for this Panzerjäger. Unique tank availability if you're playing as Panzerjäger. Basically, it's just a stolen Sherman that the Germans are now utilizing. Americans barely have anything left. How are they going to come back from this? We'll have to see what this Sherman does. They have time to get up and destroy the Stuk because it's going to take a while until the gun is ready. The Sherman's gonna have to act fast. More blue and grey coming into the field.
On the front line.
The Germans know the Stuk is there.
I got orders, boys. Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
They do have Panzerfaust, but that requires the Sherman to get pretty close. Pack 40 moving up to intercept 2. Help defend the Stuk. Sherman is moving. It is technically in range if it could see the Stuk. But the Stuk almost has its gun back. Yeah, Stuk now has his gun again. It's still immobilized somehow, despite its engine being fixed. I guess it was too separate immobilization. That's...
Prepare for action. Crew stand ready.
Oh, it can only repair engine critical. Alright, it cannot repair tracks.
Get ready.
That makes sense, okay. Americans... I'm not sure how the Americans can make a comeback here yet. Especially with the Panzer Grenadiers now mowing down those blue and grey. Then Corporal going out to obscure them. Sherman has been out with a bulldozer. That actually does increase its frontal armor. Also allows it to clear obstacles and create barriers. Smoke going out to cover its approach. The Stuk is still present though.
Standing by. Command level capabilities ready for deployment. We can now detect enemy vehicles.
Oh, the
using
Panzer is on the flank there. The Sherman is pushing up. The issue is these guys do have Panzerfausts. And we got one good shot right there. Stuk flanking. And Sherman goes down. It's not looking good here for the United States. Not good at all. It looks like the Germans could actually just overrun the American position, but they don't know how much is left, I think. More American riflemen coming onto the field, but I'm not sure how they can deal with all these tanks the Germans now are fielding. Jagdpanzer coming out too, that's gonna deny any armor from the Allies. I don't think the rifle company has anything that can deal with a Jagdpanzer frontally when it comes to tanks. Right, the Panzer moving out. Luftwaffe even flying in. And the F-8s will definitely take good care of all the American infantry. Oh, good shot there from the 57 though. Wow, it took out one Stuk. Very impressive. Command Stuk also down from another 57. Don't underestimate the 57 apparently. It's a reliable small AT gun. Like even getting a good shot on the Panzer there. It's probably gonna destroy the AT gun. Not. You also have the crew here from the command Stuk. Basically the highest ranking officer available to you if you're playing as the Waffen-SS at the moment. Here's the Jagdpanzer. This thing will be very hard to deal with. I feel if not impossible from the front. The frontal armor on that thing is kind of ridiculous. Americans pushing up, but there's a lot of Sturmgewehrs to hold them. Panzergrenadiers need to get behind cover. They are running to do so. But the Americans also flanking meanwhile. When getting some very good flanking shots with a Thompson in their squad leader. Ray going out. Didn't do anything. Blue and grey coming in. I think the Germans are actually losing this infantry fight. Yeah, the Panzer is just the only guy left here. He might actually go down. Oh, he got another guy out from the truck. But it might be too late, I think. More American riflemen come around to the field. Suppose the first Rifle Division is sending in more men to the slaughter. Storm Grenadiers coming out now, probably to be armed with an LMG-42 and I imagine a some Sturmgewehr. American Rifle Grenadiers do nothing to the Jagdpanther. Or Jagdpanzer, it's way too heavily armored. Way too sloped as well. While the Panzer being repaired by the Sturm Pioneers. Getting some knowledge on how to fix American-built engines, I imagine.
This is it. The squad is back.
Good to go.
While the Panzer pushing up here, high explosive loaded. Only killed one guy.
Commander abilities ready.
But the American Riflemen did secure the cutoff point.
Get ready, guys. Knock it off.
So the Americans are in a very precarious position, I feel. Scavenging the Sherman rig, good to see some more resources there. 35 fuel, another A2 Sherman coming after the United States. That's a pretty hard sell though, but they do need some kind of armor. Where do we have the Storm Grenadiers? Looks like this. There they are. And yes, they have been equipped with Sturmgewehrs. Who would have seen that coming? Pretty good upgrade for them if you're playing as Panzerjäger after all. Makes them exceptionally potent.
Target secure. Establish defensive line.
See, they're moving up here. It's only 80 guns to stop them though.
Go ahead. We're ready.
Good if he wants to hold fire. Now that's actually gonna give them an ambush chance. Is there also... Oh, good high explosive! Pinning them!
Orders.
That's gonna force the Storm Grenadiers to quickly run back.
Armor here.
Here's the A2 Sherman. I wonder if the A2 Sherman will beat a Beutepanzer. Probably. Because they had technically the same tank, I think.
Button her up. Big push coming. Standing by. Looks like we're getting.
Yeah, I think they're technically the same tank. Suppose we'll have to see who wins when the engagement happens.
Standing by. Send orders.
Looks like the 50 caliber is opening fire now on the blue and grey. But that's something I'd waste a high explosive on, but the post has their choice.
We just lost a unit.
It's a recalling down there.
Tank ready.
American Sherman pushing up.
Target assistance hit.
Beutepanzer got a good shot at it.
A capture point is under attack. Burn a promotion.
Lots of Sturmgewehr still. Hitting down the American infantry. High explosive load on the Sturm Pioneers. Overshot. While the Sturm Pioneers are getting out of there, they don't want to risk staying in that position. Anyway, the American Riflemen are quickly pushing up to take the point again. Jagdtiger called in. Calling in one of the heaviest German vehicles, if not the heaviest German vehicle in the whole game and the whole war. That's an absolutely ridiculous armor, piece of armor right there. It might be a little bit overkill in this situation. Stuart coming out for the United States. A fast mobile light tank. Good favor to support and just getting around the flanks. Can be loaded with canister shots to deal with infantry very reliably. Sherman is being repaired. Some Grenadiers pushing up again. And we also have some Aufklar now on the field for the Germans. And they give them some good recon, potentially. Beutepanzer taking shots. High explosive not do much. Beutepanzer down. Two good shots there from the Americans. And here's the Stuart, but the Jagdpanzer's nearby. Some Grenadiers have not been equipped with Panzerfausts. Leaving them very vulnerable. Here comes the Jagdpanzer, straight into the Stuart. Almost thought he was going to ram it. Would have been a very bad use of his gun. Probably bending the gun. Panzer is moving up alongside the Panzerjäger, or Jagdpanzer. Can be good with a pass right now, but I would personally always go for the MP40s, because that way you have long-range firepower and close-range firepower if the enemy does close the distance. A lot of good options for them. Some fear pushing up. Second Jagdpanzer coming up behind the Jagdtiger. So much firepower for the Germans today. More weapons being airdropped in for the United States. Probably to help alleviate their current situation. Because it looks like the American infantry is having a very hard time today.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
After this is pushing up rapidly, calling in artillery.
Ready for action.
Blue and Grey is not going to have an easy time here.
Our supply line. Frontline units are being hung out to
The MG42 from the Panzer is opening fire. And grenade assault going into. Artillery called in. Building collapses. So much is going on here. 180 gun has been retrieved though. You need to cancel the ambush thing in order to get them to move. It's really annoying, I know. Explosive being loaded though. Probably under Untersturmführer. Missed, hit the hill. More German infantry by Hauptsturmführer calling in artillery. 12 centimeter. And here's the Jagdtiger. Explosive going on Hauptsturmführer, killing him! Denying the artillery strike. He almost lost an officer right there. It's gonna have to pull back there, being shot at from this angle. Another FH2 coming up. Jagdtiger driving up slow and steady. I don't think the Americans have literally anything that can scratch this thing frontally. Even the same with the Jagdpanzers, but this thing is on a whole nother level. Yeah, that's one Sherman gone. Hit by a giant-ass cannon. Artillery being called in by the captain, but it's a very hard position to do.
Stand ready.
Listen up over here.
Looks like the Grenadiers are pushing up, trying to deny it. They managed to get the artillery strike off though. So the Jagdtiger got out of there. That is a dead Grenadier squad, I think. Too much firepower coming at him. High explosive overshot. That's the problem with this thing though. It doesn't have that much accuracy against infantry. It's a very big gun. It's very unwieldy. But the Germans have basically base locked the Americans at this point. The Americans are going to need to do something drastic to get out of this one. Americans do have a lot of manpower at the moment, and the German manpower income is crumbling due to the heavy armor being utilized. Heavy armor does actually reduce your income a fair bit. Good shot from the 57. I should not underestimate that thing. Though that was a 3-inch. No wonder it did that much damage. Has a lot of explosive mass. Super Grenadiers is still pushing up here. Germans are trying to take the cutoff point again there. That's really being called in by the Untersturmführer. He almost died to high explosive shell though. The Germans are pushing up very aggressively here. Their fate has been loaded with high explosives. Storm Grenadiers are down. Artillery taking out 180 gun. Immobilize the F8. And that F8 is basically taken care of. The Germans are taking a lot of armored losses trying to push up the American position though. And the Americans really need to find a way to push out though. I'm not sure how. They are picking a lot of riflemen here. And riflemen should not be underestimated on the offense. They are pretty potent with all the M1 Garands. It's a lot of firepower in a very small area. Fairly cheap as well. They're not that expensive, I believe. Yeah, 240, that's the basic amount for a normal infantry soldier. They also flying around, and the Jagdpanzer has no anti-infantry capability. Only a high explosive shell. And if you split up, you can minimize that very easily. Oh, looks like we have the Luftwaffe strafing. Looks like Hold the Line was activated, which will strafe the front line to deny the Americans any advance. But the Americans are just pulling back and avoiding the worst of it. Artillery called in on the American base. I think they are. Yeah. No, they did not do it. Okay.
Remember? The guys who said the water was bad, they were ordered to drink wine until it was cleared up? Yeah. We need to start us a rumor.
That was a fun little thing the American soldiers just talked about. There's some good dialogue in this game, honestly. There you go, the Americans seems like they're ready to push again. They have their captain with them. What does he buff, actually? 10% receive reduced hit chance. That's actually not that bad. They're hard to hit. That's a lot of heavy guns, though, for the Germans. More Storm Grenadiers onto the field here, being out with Storm Gewehr. Explosives are being ready to be loaded here on the Jagdpanzers, though, I think. But just using AP shells is gonna be bad.
Unit ready.
Grenade on the officer. Only killed one guy, though. Let's see what this truck is doing. Off-class, very close to the front line. 82 Sherman on the field, but that's not going to do much with all this AT. And the Americans are just being locked in their base at the moment, unable to get out. Well, the Jagdpanzers are not the best choice against the infantry. The Americans do have a few AT guns up, which so far has actually been proven to be quite effective. But the Aufklar is giving them a lot of view on them. And there's no munitions for high explosives anymore. The Americans have basically lost all their munitions. Smoke grenade going out. That's gonna allow the Storm Grenadiers to push up. That's also gonna allow this AT gun to move back. And the Sherman's get into position. Break going in on 180 gun. Killing the crew. Oh, and looks like the Aufklar got spotted. Not sure how, but that's fine, I guess. Second Aufklar coming out. Americans need some ways to get out of this situation. So they're preparing for pushing the southern flank here. To be honest, there's not that many automatic weapons to stop them. They just don't want to clump up, because that's going to make an easy target for the high explosives. High explosive on the 3-inch. Jagdtier got the Sherman. No surprise there.
Tank was just lost.
The Germans have the superiority. They could literally just slowly destroy the base defenses and push in. But they're being very cautious about it. But the Americans really don't have anything to stop them.
We're losing a capture point.
Just these 50 cal positions that are keeping the infantry at bay. Jagdpanzer moving up. But they're slowly taking them out now with the Jagdpanzers. So what is American blob of infantry gonna do? Oh! Composite B! Ah, we're going to see anti-tank bombs. Very costly though. They don't have the munitions for this kind of stuff. Mortars coming out for the Germans. Probably gonna try and shell the American base.
Prepare for orders! Mortar crew is ready for battle.
Half track coming out. Looks like there's another crowd mower.
We're losing a capture point.
Jagdpanzer's driving up. Destroying more of the 50 cal positions.
Is sustaining fire.
I think it's just the Americans that refuse to surrender at this point. Let's speed up a little bit. See what happens.
Half track is ready for orders.
So we'll drive down here. He'll probably get shot. Okay, the Americans are doing a big push here on the southern flank.
Light vehicle just got destroyed. Enemy armor! Enemy infantry taken out!
Americans did manage to push up here somewhat. Ooh, artillery did not hit the American captain that much. Bundeswehr is down. And the Americans are advancing. Jagdtiger moving a little bit on the side here. The infantry is surprisingly doing well. Just because the Germans are lacking in infantry to stop them. Composite B going in, it missed. But the Americans have secured a little bit of territory, so getting a little bit more resource to work with. But they lost a lot of men on it. They do have the manpower though to just replenish. But the American base is in shambles. Let's speed up time again.
Orders complete. Standing by. Receiving enemy fire.
And now the Germans are just pulling into the base slowly.
Upgrade complete. Field promotion.
And the American base is basically gone.
Ready to utilize.
They only have one structure left. It really just feels like it's huge and it's refused to surrender at this point.
Our supply line's cut. Germans are making a push.
Why the Panzer down there?
Anti-tank gun ready for action.
Surprisingly, the Americans are still somehow able to give a lot of cause a lot of damage to the Germans, despite their very weakened position. I'm honestly surprised that they're still working out like this.
On your feet, ladies. Taking fire. Knock it off. Listen up. Troops are on the line.
Prepare for action. Enemy
They're trying to do another composite B, but they're being stopped.
We lost an
Panzer Grenadier is able to stop them.
orders incoming.
Or will they? Looks like they will.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
And the Panzer Grenadiers are moving into the American base now. There's not really anything the Americans have to stop them at this point. Just AT guns. I suppose we'll speed up time again and see what happens.
AT gun.
Almost destroying the American building there. There's tons of AT guns coming onto the fields.
Rifle squad ready for action.
Oh, and they're calling in a motorized group. Okay.
Armor.
Again, that's not gonna do much, I think.
Anti-tank gun ready for action.
Jagdpanzer down. Okay.
Infantry.
Rear echelon squad ready for action. AT gun ready.
And we echelon called onto the field stand to repair the base. But base repairs takes a little bit too long, in my opinion, as you can see. Like, it's barely going up at all. They can repair this easily, but their base structures here are just gonna take forever. I will say though, the fact that Union is still holding on, that's something. That's impressive. This is a situation you really cannot recover from, I feel. They're still doing their best.
Anti-tank gun ready for action.
As good as a veteran survived. Now I'm being equipped with MP40s. That's the stuff I'd do.
Ready for further orders.
Let's speed up time again, because not a lot seems to be happening. Just the Germans shelling. But every time the Germans send up a vehicle, it looks like that the American AT guns might be able to keep them at bay for now. No penetration there. Look at all these AT guns.
An officer is taking the field for
Artillery now being called in by the German officer.
Volksgrenadier, ready for action.
This is such an awkward little engagement. America's pushing out again. Didn't even bother repairing their base fully. Probably realizing it's not going to work out. Here comes the Luftwaffe again.
We just lost a unit.
Straight from the front line.
Rear echelon squad ready for action.
I'd say these A3s have actually caused a lot of German armored losses.
Rear echelon troops on the front line.
More Americans called in too.
Crowds are sniffing around our
The Germans just need to get into that American base and kill it. It's apparently proven to be a little bit more difficult than I imagined. I'm honestly surprised that the Americans are still holding. Well, I don't think they're going to be able to get that base back up. They are definitely trying. Very stubborn Americans right here. Refuse to give up. Even as artillery engulfs their base and the Germans keep pushing up.
That crew has been lost.
Just speed up time again a little bit.
Officer, ready to
Americans going for that Jagdpanzer. Even start to use American packs. British, German packs, I mean. The Jagdpanzer are very hard not to crack. Boy, the Panzer is not though.
Medium Panzer lost.
So we call in on the American base again. And I think this time they might get it. On using about the Ladnung. And one more grenade. Oh, they need to do one more thing to it. Yeah, I don't think the Americans can stop it this time. If they practically just hold on a little bit longer, they can destroy it.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Even artillery calling on the base now. Or more smoke, just to buy them time. Very smart. And they got it. That's the end. That was a very awkward match, but I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Well, the Germans were in the head of it for a very long time. I'll see you on the next video one. Bye bye.